Shalom, wise solid speaking. Of course, you all see the title. Give everyone a chance to get in here. I want to explain this deep thing. Hopefully everyone's well. Hopefully everyone's working on self, perfecting self. Whatever flaws you have, becoming aware of them. Flaws being like insecurities, self-doubts, the deep aspects of self, are the hidden aspects of yourself, what you keep from others. You want to work on those things slowly over time. Perfect yourself. Of course, our flaws, they manifest out creating flawed relationships or whatever conflicts you can think of that you have throughout your day. They're just manifestations of our own internal flaws. And so, as I said, hopefully everyone's working on self or taking some time out of their day, week, month, a cycle of working on self, the mind and the emotional state of self. Most people put all their work into their finances. Then their finances become the bettering of themselves to them, but that's not it. It's the mind and the emotional state. That's what we have to live with. You live off your finances, but you have to live with the mind and emotional state you have. So you want to make sure that's up to par. Now, can you guys let me know if I'm clear, please? Or do I need to lower these tunes? I want to explain how the KKK started Islam. If you're subscribed to one of my pricing plans on my website, I have a post up there with many images supporting what I'm about to explain. Of course, I don't have any images here on the live. It's live, so I can't, but if you're subscribed to one of my pricing plans, you can go there and check out the posts that have to do with this video. Now, can I get a sound check, please? I don't want to really deal with the retardation today. Well, the sound check is for y'all, so it really wouldn't matter. Now, let's get to this deep knowledge. Before I start, I want to say this. Peace and wisdom, Brian Pierce. My channel is for those that seeking the unfiltered truth. My channel is not for shock value or any stupid thing y'all have going on, and I don't want to have to keep saying that. Come to my channel to learn. You ask your questions. If there's anything I say that you may have not heard before, you ask your questions. Make your questions or your statements, clear like my post. I don't just say things. I don't just say like the KKK started Islam and that's that. I give you support and, imagery so you can grasp. And I'll let you know I'm gonna do the video when I get to it. Outside of that, if you're a KKK or a Muslim, I don't expect you to come here acting like you got a problem. You can go on your way. This is not the lesser spot. You're a follower of something, not me. Nobody don't tell me what to do or what to say. That's your dilemma. So when points is made to you, thank you to whoever gave back. When points are made, don't skip over them. Meaning a lot of y'all fall under these groups. You have people over you that tell you what to do, ideals over you. That's other people's thoughts. That's not my problem. Meaning I don't have that problem where I belittle myself for others. And so this is what my teachings have to do with overall. The mind and the emotional state getting raised up. Y'all are seeking to be low, be belittled. That's what worship is. Put a thing above yourself, and that it becomes an excuse for you to not put the work in on self so you can measure up to the highest of highs. It's not about you being below the highest of highs. It's not about you being below anything. Yeah, you below things because everybody starts when they do. Some people are being born right now. I suppose they below everybody on earth in terms of mind, physical doings. But do you get my point? For that baby to start putting us above it and worshiping it, how's that baby gonna ever grow up to be an adult and of equal measure where we can depend on it and it can depend on us and everything's whole? That will never happen by the ideals y'all live by. The ideals y'all live by, we'll all just be worshiping some God, never being on equal measure of God, which should be the overall point. What's the point of just being below something forever? You think that's the point of religion? For you to just worship and be below something? Now you have no interaction or no relationship with God. You just have relationships with the intermediaries. This is the preachers and all of these people that speak the Bible. And that they become what you worship truly. So y'all worship like Minister Farrakhan truly. But y'all try to act like y'all don't. But he just a man like any other man. Worse than that, he'll follow himself. Ain't like we talking about a man that started the NOI. We talking about a follower. And so if you young, you make sure you hear what I'm saying. We've been followers in a lower thing forever. Even y'all leaders is lessers and lowers. Ain't no disrespect to Minister Farrakhan. I don't want y'all to ever mistake me as somebody that just say things. Like I said, I'll sit down to Minister Farrakhan and tell him right to his face. He an elder of mine, so I wouldn't disrespect him. But overall, Mr. Farrakhan, you didn't start that. And so you do not know where it derived truly in your heart. And so it wouldn't matter what you're saying to me. You're just convincing me to be a lesser. Meaning anybody convincing you to worship something because they worship it or because they say the world do, they just convincing you to be a follower or the lesser thing that they are. And it's that simple. You can say, no, that's the word of God, blah, blah, blah. You have no... The only way to God is through self. And you can't get to God through self by being a lesser thing. Just look at it like your parents. They do not want you to be no lesser thing. I don't care what you think. Maybe your parents want you to be less than them. Some of y'all got jealous parents, but most parents want their kid to be above them or at least as of equal measure. If their kid fall a little short, whatever, but you get my point? The thought overall is, I want the kid to be better than me or keep things going of equal measure. And so you are the source of all things like that. We need to work at being of equal measure. That's fully balanced, and you get my point? Being in tune with life. Life being ourselves. So, you learn life, you learn self, it's one and the same thing. In regards to titles that put things above or below, that's a blasphemy. There's just everybody where they're at. Everybody having different starting points, but the overall goal is the same, which is we all have to be of equal measure. Equally wise, equally everything. Meaning if everybody shared their gift, Everybody be of equal measure. And so whatever gifts I have of mine, like the things I'm about to explain, many things y'all don't know, use it for what it's for. So you be wiser and of equal measure. Other than that, until you get there, so the journey is that. So you can look at it like that. You have to be what I just said, however you want to cut it. You can have your own perspective of what I said. But what I said is the overall truth. And that, until y'all get it, fulfill it, look at that as reincarnation. I have a perspective of reincarnation or repeatedly coming back here. Look at that as the reason. Until you measure up, you're just going to keep starting over. Meaning you keep putting things above yourself, worshipping and idolizing things, then you could never be of equal measure. Think of it as you an adult and you're dealing with kids. They have parents they have to answer to, you don't. In that, y'all not on equal playing field in perspective. Meaning you're dealing with them is truly dealing with their parents. Because that's who can always intervene and say, like, you know, and so learning has to do with awareness, becoming aware of certain things like that. Becoming aware of reality. Y'all kind of speak over reality. Every time you speak over truth, you create a false reality for yourself. Look at truth as reality. If you do not want to accept the truth, in perspective, you created a false reality for yourself, which is whatever you saying the reality is. If you reflect back and think on how many times you overlook the truth. Let's say you're a Christian and I explain to you how Christianity is blasphemy. I say this is why your God is all beat up on the cross and dead. Nobody would say something that they love and something that is as powerful as God is dead, spit on, beat up. I don't care if that's what the story says. The story said lets you see, like, oh yeah, this is blasphemy because you can't say these kind of things in regards to God. You can't say God got beat up, hung on a cross. If you truly understand God, when I say God, I mean the source of all. It's not even possible. That's stupid. You get my point? If God is just some dude to you, then I get it. Anybody could get touched up. So then you got a point. But if God is more than just some dude, it's just not realistic that God's going to get beat up, hung on the cross, anything you can think of in regards to man handling God. And so the religion is blasphemy. I've given you guys many references in regards to that. Now let's say you overlook that and you say, nah, I don't know. Well, whatever reality you think it is, that's what you have to live. In that, you get my point? Y'all are going in your own false reality at this point. Y'all are just creating and making up things as y'all go. You know, adding y'all add-ons to things. This is how truth get altered. If you ever wondered who stepped on the ancient Bible and the Quran and all these books, who altered them? Same way y'all altering them now. That's how it always been. Man not understanding the thing and not meditating on understanding or receiving it. You know, understanding being like a sense that we have. That has to be built up, of course. All your senses do. When you're first born, you don't see so clear, but it adjusts. And so understanding has to do with the awareness that we have. Awareness not being conscious, y'all are conscious, but awareness having to do with knowing. You get it? A clarity. And so you don't want to overlook so much truth. This is why the emotional state have to be, situated. If you think truth is all the things that you already got in your head, then you coming into truth should be an easy thing. Why were you seeking truth to begin with? I wouldn't know. Again, if truth to you is what's already in your head, I wouldn't even know what you're seeking. But, you get my point? If that's what you think seeking wisdom is, well, most of y'all need to grasp. You're still mature in your mind. You need to be looking at wisdom as the complete opposite of whatever you know. Otherwise, you've been wise then. And so, truth is a hard thing when you get lost in a lie. And that's all y'all got here in life. I don't know what else y'all think y'all got between y'all entertainment and whatever y'all seeing. It's a make-believe of some sort. Now, let's get to this video, how the KKK started Islam. Of course, like I said, if you a not a channel member, but subscribe to my website, meaning you purchase one of the pricing plans, you can see the posts that correlates with this video. Now, if you look at those images that I put up, you'll notice that the older KKK outfits have the crescent star. That's the crescent moon and star image. Same image from Islam. And of course, they have the face and head coverings, no different than an Islamic person. I think that's the Sunni Muslims. We keep track of all the different, like Christianity got Baptist, this, that, it's all the same. The most of y'all say it's still all the same. Nobody got time for that. Like that. You got the same thing in Islam. Overall, the outfits that the Islamic people wear and the KKK wear is the same. Maybe the times are different. And so I suppose most of you guys would say, man, how could the KKK possibly start Islam? And the KKK wasn't even around before Islam. The Knights Templar was the KKK of their time. Maybe the name KKK doesn't go back to antiquity, but the KKK, meaning what they are, that go all the way back to the beginnings of time. Crazy people with face coverings riding around on horses, assaulting and antagonizing people. That go all the way back to ancient Egyptian times. Meaning you had the KKK just being an umbrella, like an umbrella term for many different white supremacist groups. So you can say there really ain't no KKK, Ku Klux Klan, but that's just the name for a bunch of different white terrorist groups. The same when you're dealing with the Muslim terrorists. You could say like Muslim terrorists, that's just a word for a bunch of different Islamic groups. Meaning the one Islamic terrorist group don't have the same name as the other. Just like when you're dealing with the Ku Klux Klan or white supremacist groups. They have different names. And they be beefing with each other too. You know how man is, simple-minded. The same with Islam. Get it? The terrorists and the Islamic groups be beefing. They have different. They want to do different things. Man, stupid. You can't even come together when they coming together. You get my point? But the KKK go all the way back to ancient Egyptian times, even before then. But most of y'all just know that far back. If you say no, that ain't true. There's the story where Moses intervened because one of the Egyptians was beating up or assaulting a Hebrew. Remember, the Egyptians is the upper class. So right there, that's a tale of what I'm talking about. Back in them times, you had the Hebrews, the lesser class people. You could look at it from modern day times. You had the black people in America. And you had the men on horsebacks with the coverings come burn their house down. Most people don't even know the KKK, they was the first firemen. When a lot of you pull up images of old firemen, you're gonna get it like, oh my God, he right. Talking about me, I'm right. The first firemen in America was KKK. They was starting fires in. It was supposed to be, I'll get into that later, but they was supposed to be walking around looking for fires. This is in a time where men had chimneys for heat. Y'all got that good central heat now, but that wasn't back in the day. You had to have a chimney. In that, you could have a fire. So when you're dealing with the early fire department in America, New Amsterdam, that's what they called Manhattan in the 1700s. It started with 4 men, I forgot their names. But they were given hooks, ladders, and buckets. And they would patrol the neighborhoods, giving people fines that didn't have their chimney swept correctly. And then, of course, with that money, they bought more equipment and brought on more people. Now, of course, blacks ain't have no rights during that time. So who you think was doing this? White people. And a lot of white people in them times was KKK. And so do you get my point? The early men that's supposed to be walking around as the firemen is the same ones that's riding around on horseback setting black people's houses on fire. And so it go deep. I got images for that too, so y'all can grasp how if you go back to the beginnings of the fire department, they look just like the KKK, where you wouldn't be confused. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. If that's a fireman, then I don't know the difference between him and the KKK in the 1800s. Like that, y'all just ain't pulling up images. Y'all don't know how to research. Y'all research according to y'all agenda. In that, y'all have like tunnel vision or small, shallow. It don't leave no room for y'all to put 1 and 2 together. I ain't biased to no teaching, so I study, well not study, but I do my research on Islam, everything. Even the fire department of old. In that, do you get my point? It's inevitable for you to be able to put everything together and make the whole reality. You follow? In that, you go back to early firemen in America, and the Ku Klux Klan, they the same people. And so, in perspective, you could say if you were a black fireman in the day, you were a bad person. That's OD, right? Yeah, bad person, man. Your ancestors got their crib burned down. Like the same people you work as now. But I'm just joking with that part. Not the KKK being the fire department, but you know, don't do whatever y'all do in the daytime to take care of yourselves. But wisdom is good too. The Knights Templar, man, they was the KKK back in their day. Like I said, the name don't go back to antiquity, but you will always know the KKK because they gonna be riding on horsebacks, have the face covering, and they gonna be assaulting people in the communities, basically terrorizing people. And so, like I said, let's go back to ancient Egypt and Musa. Musa is the Arabic name for Moses. This is where Musalim come from. Meaning, if you ever wondered what's a Muslim, it comes from the word Musa. I guess the lim is like the following, like a Nephilim. You get my point? Like the ing on the end of a word. Or like if y'all would say like you know how y'all be like he's a Yorkie in regards to like if you talking about polite or somebody. It's to say like he a Dr. York follower. That's what a Muslim would be like. To say like he a Muslim. It's to say like he a follower of the teachings of Musa. If you lost, the Prophet Muhammad spoke of Musa. Meaning when the angel Gabriel first came to Jibril, came to Muhammad in the cave and kind of squeezed him, hurt him a little bit. Prophet Muhammad went back to his wife and told her, whatever, with the angel Jibril. And his wife, or his wife's brother or uncle, I forget which one, was telling the Prophet Muhammad that happened to Musa and the Hebrew people. Meaning that same messenger that came to you was the same messenger that came to Musa and the Hebrews. That's why I always say like Christianity come before Islam. Because the Prophet Muhammad spoke of the Hebrews or the Jews as if whatever's transpiring with Muhammad and his people already happened with another people. We all know who the Hebrews are, the Jews. That's your Judaism or your Christianity now. And so I'm giving you that reference so you can grasp a Muslim or a Muslim as y'all say it now, but it still said Musalim in some places. That's what Prophet Muhammad was. That's what Islam for the most part is supposed to be. The followings of Musa. This is why y'all have the same story as Christianity, are the same characters, just in y'all own tongue. You get my point? But if you go back to ancient Egyptian times, you have the Pharaoh and his army, of course, and you have that story of Musa kind of interfering with one of the Egyptians kind of assaulting the Hebrews. He killed the Egyptian. This is when Moses or Musa fled. So I'm giving you that reference so you could grasp when it's speaking in the Bible how the Egyptians used to antagonize or assault the Hebrews, and in that place it's kind of like the blacks in America in the beginnings when you had the KKK kind of, they the power in the authority or they attached to it. In that the KKK come burn down a black man house. It's like I said, the fire department is the KKK. Your shit will be burning for hella long. It's like now, y'all get shot. How long it take the cops to get there? They get there when they feel like it. You die. So it's kind of like that in the past. You get your house burnt down, but you get no justice. Nothing don't happen. Meaning after the KKK come set somebody's house on fire, what happened to the KKK? Nothing. Your house just got burnt down. Oh well, the cops might come and beat you up for calling them out there. You get my point? You say, why are you even wasting our time? And so it's a little rough in the past. But I'm giving you that reference so you can take it back to ancient Egypt times. I did a video where I explained how ancient Egypt is ancient Christianity. Meaning Christianity ain't nothing but ancient Egypt, their worship system of old. And so when you're dealing with ancient Egypt, the people would have been separated into lamb or ram. This is like sheep. Lamb worship and bull worship. So the crescent moon and the star symbol is bull horns. And if you go back into antiquity, you will see a bull head, Apis, the Apis bull in ancient Egypt. That bull head with the horns and that little circle in the middle of it. That's what you see when you're looking at like the mosque and you see like the star with the crescent moon beneath it. It go all the way back to bull worship, Moloch times, when they used to sacrifice, their babies to Moloch. And Moloch's depicted as a bull. And so, like I said, it's the same now, though. You got Muslims and Christians, but it all boils down to lamb and bull worship. Meaning Christians worship lambs. They say like their God is a lamb and they're sheep. And you get my point? Overall, their God is a lamb to them. When you're done with Islam, crescent moon, star, bullhorn thing. A Muslim in the daytime probably don't know that. But once I'm saying it, you do have a brain. And so it's the same worship as before. Rams versus bulls. Or sheep versus bulls. That's what Christianity and Islam is. If you go back to ancient times, they ain't had them names Christianity and Islam, but you had those that worshiped the ram god and those that worshiped the bull god. The ram god would be like what y'all call a lamb or a sheep in today. A ram would be like the wild version, or it before it's domesticated. And so in ancient Egyptian times, you can say like the lower class people, which would have been like the Hebrews, they worshipped the bull horns. This is why when Moses took the Hebrews out of Egypt and they got into the desert and he went up to the mountain and he came back down, they had made a calf, a bull. So if you think anything I'm saying is inaccurate, well, you like, he making this up. It's in y'all own text. Read it. Where y'all think I got this from? Meaning, how you think I know what I'm talking about? I ain't making none of this up. It's in y'all own history. And so, if you ever read that verse where Moses went up to the mountain and came back, and they had started worshiping a bull or a calf in his absence, I have to do with what I'm talking about. The Hebrews, which was the lower class in Egypt, they was worshiping bulls. Or Islam. If it was modern day, bull worship would be Islam. Allah would just be the bull god. You get my point? The same way Jesus is the lamb god. And so the lesser class are the Hebrews in Egypt in antiquity. They would have worshipped the bull, and the higher class would have worshipped like the lambs. So look at it like in modern day. Christianity is looked at as above Islam in perspective. If you lost and you say, no, it ain't, well, why do you think Islam is the one that do the terrorist attacking? You attack when you feel like you oppressed. So Christianity, for the most part, is like the stronghold. If you lost, the Palestinians is Muslims, and the Israelis are Jews, Christians, basically. Do you see how they dusting off the Palestinians? Because they the power, the authority, they got more of the stronghold, meaning Christianity is stronger than Islam. As time goes by, Islam is getting up in its numbers, is getting of equal measure. But if you go back to antiquity, do you get it? It's like that. So in ancient Egypt, you would have like some of Pharaoh's army, the horsemen, riding around disrespecting the Hebrews or doing whatever they want to the lower class. They're like the KKK in that time. They are the KKK in that time, but you get my point? Just like Christianity is the same Christianity it is now, then. And so, in them times, I'm giving you all that as reference. The KKK go back to ancient Egypt with Pharaoh's army. Musa or Moses, he took the Hebrews out of Egypt. This is the beginnings of like Islam and Christianity beef before the names Islam and Christianity. Remember, a Muslim is a Muslim. Let's all start with Musa. That's why that story of Moses freeing The Egypt, freeing the Hebrews from Egypt is important. It got to do with a lot of different things transpiring after. Now, if Moses took the Hebrews out of Egypt, then you can say in perspective they become like those that's warring with Christianity. Remember, the Hebrews is lower class, so they're like Muslims. They worship the bull. Of course, Moses is coming from higher class, so he trying to put them on to what the Egyptians worshipped, which is the higher religion at the time. That lamb thing, that sheep thing. You know, God is your lamb and all of that. They don't want to hear it. They like Muslims. And so you get it, the moment Moses departs from them, they go back to Islam or bull worship. Now, from there, the Hebrews, of course, Pharaoh's little horseman army chases them and all of that. You get my point? Now, from there, the Hebrews go from place to place, basically terrorizing it and taking over it. You get my point? This is like early KKK or the beginnings of Islam. Ain't start yet, you can say, but this is the beginnings of it. If you're lost, Muslims believe like the Hebrews. You see how the Jews view themselves as those people? The Muslims view themselves as that. The Muslims view the Christians as a blasphemy, meaning the Muslims don't believe that Jesus died on the cross. They believe Jesus can't die and got away or went to heaven, and whoever died was for that glory. And that ain't nobody. You get my point? That's their viewpoint on it. They call Jesus Isa, which is basically what ISIS is. But that's a different story. But this is the beginnings of Christian and Islam beefs. You can say it started kind of in Egypt. Now, when you get to Musa's time, I mean Muhammad's time, this is the beginning of Islam as y'all know it, according to y'all. The Archangel Gabriel that gave Muhammad Islam, do you get it? Would have been, you got to remember, in the times of Prophet Muhammad, you got like the descendants of the Roman Empire kind of still taking over place to place, as I explained to y'all in the past. You know, that Julius Caesar's thing, the Julius Caesars of old, not the person, the people, the Jews. That's where that come from, Jews, the Julius Caesars, which is basically, you know, your Roman descendants. But during Prophet Muhammad's time, you would have had your Romans taking over the world, Egypt, the Middle East, all these different places. And you would have had Roman generals ruling over, you know, certain places, like the place Muhammad and his people was in. Of course, that place would have probably been like indigenous territory at that point, meaning nothing really developed and established yet, but colonizers just invading and, you know, prepping it for it. Or maybe it's halfway built, whatever. It's hard to say, but I'm just giving you the perspective, because colonization go all the way back to the beginnings. That's what all of this started. Now, the angel or archangel Gabriel would have been a part of that. You got to remember, Lord, God, archangel, these are all ancient titles of rank for like government order. Like how we got president, the government, the mayor, like that. A god, a king is somebody that's a ruler of a place. Lord King Lord of hosts, same thing, Lord King, Lord of hosts, is a king that's over a bunch of places and their king. So let's say you were king over a place. This other dude is a king over a place. Now I appointed both of y'all. I put y'all on them corners. Like that. Y'all both answer to me. And when I pull up, I'm king of kings. Your people already know that. You they king and they God, but nigga, when I pull up, they know. That's the Lord right there. You get it? Then you had God kings. This is motherfucker that rule the whole world. Any king you could think of. Any country you could think of in existence fall under them. That's that Xerxes thing in the movie 300. Where Xerxes was telling Leonidas and them, man, y'all need to just kneel to me. He pulling up with all the kings or nations of people. He a God king. That's to say he God. Manifested. That's where these titles come from. Man trying to, you get it? Become, so to say. So you can say in the past, God was becoming. All these things was becoming. God is a man to conquer the whole earth. The Lord King, Lord of hosts. You get my point? This is a man that, like I said, is a king of kings. And then you just got a regular king, somebody that's over a place. And then you got the orders beneath the king, you know? In the past, that would have been like the priesthood, they would have been like the government, so on and so forth. And inside the place, you got your different cities of municipals. And you're going to have, you know, generals of armies and things like that ruling over it. So an archangel is like to say like a messenger of God in the perspective of like a soldier, a high-ranking general. He speak for the king. You get it? Even if you go back to Japan in the past, the samurai is like the messenger or the face for the king in regards to war or anything like that. Meaning the samurai was the emperor. Not saying they was the same person, but to the public, when the samurai's in his suit, that is the king. To them, that's the emperor in his giddy up. But of course, that ain't the emperor. That's just him in battle. Kind of like you got different people as you. You the boss, you got your worker, he work over, you get it? You got different arms, but they all extensions of you. Like that. And so an archangel would have been like that. An arc being like an archer, you know, a warrior, a soldier. And so look at it like that. During Prophet Muhammad time, you would have had the colonizing party. This would have been your power of the time. Basically early Christianity invading. But amongst those invading party, you have like the KKK, meaning those that kind of terrorize. So think like in America, you had the whites coming and colonizing, and then you had some of them that was like terrorizing. The KKK part, like that. You got the KKK part. This is the part that schooled Muhammad. That's why I say the KKK started Islam. Whoever Muhammad talked to in the cave was like a general of the invading colonizers, the Christians. But you got to remember the KKK part of all of those orders have their own bump. So I'm sure you would say, why would the KKK, if they Christians are a part of that order, why would they come into Muhammad's land and turn Muhammad into a Muslim? It's the same like the Knights Templar or the KKK of their time. And they had beef with their own, meaning the Knights Templar are supposed to be Christians, but they got killed for supposedly worshiping Baphomet and, you know, worshiping heresy, so to say. In a nutshell, a lot of people have Baphomet and Muhammad like merged or confused. To give you the proper perspective, the Knights Templar, which would have been the KKK of that time, supposed to be Christians under the Christian order, is secretly Muslims. You get it? And so that's what they was whacked off for. Now, if you know the Knights Templar, or if you purchase one of my pricing plans, you can see the images I gave you of the Knights Templar, and their symbology is the exact same as the Ku Klux Klan. They rode around on their horses. They had their face coverings, which is the same as the Ku Klux Klan. It might even been metal. You get it? Meaning, think of in the times where they wore those metal face coverings. It's the same as what y'all call the white sheets, just metal. And so the Knights Templar was the KKK of that time. And they worship Islam. And it's the same in America. When you had the KKK running around burning people's houses, they worship Islam. That's why if you look at early KKK uniforms, you're going to see the crescent moon and star on their thing. Where you like, why do they got the Islamic? Now remember, during them times, you ain't know nothing about Islam. Meaning in the 1800s, y'all ain't know nothing about no Islam. Y'all knew about the KKK, that part. And so, the KKK started Islam in that way. Meaning, whoever the Archangel Gabriel is, or Jibril, we speaking of a person. This person schooling Muhammad on Islam. You get my point? Muhammad and his people being like an extension of this KKK dude. And so now you get my point. Muhammad and his people start killing everything. If you understand Islam and the Prophet Muhammad, he was a soldier. After he met Jibril, from there, he was going to war with all the colonizing or invading parties. You get my point? It's like I said with the Knights Templar. They have beef with their own. You could say in perspective, the Knights Templar and the Christians of those times have beef. The Knights Templar having more power than the Christians, meaning the Knights Templars getting bigger than what they came from. So you get it? You have the jealousy. That it came just, you get my point? Said whack them out. Them being accused of heresy could all be a lie, but you got to know that they don't have the same beliefs as what they come from. Otherwise, how they clash, how they get bigger. That part. And so it's like I told you, if you're familiar with Islam and Christianity, it's the same religion. So in that, it's truly just a confusion thing, but the angel Jibril would have been a part of the KKK of that time. You know, the invading colonizing party. And of course, the invading colonizing party always has the aspect of them that ride around on horses terrorizing people. And this is what Prophet Muhammad and his people are kind of coming into contact with. These KKK people do recruit while doing this. And so now think if the KKK starting to have problems with their own. So when they start recruiting people like, yeah, these people bad, attack them. You get my point? And so Prophet Muhammad and them is trying to fight against the powers that be of the time. Having gotten their bump from the same powers to be of the time. The KKK fashion of it. This is why Muhammad and his people was going to war from that moment. So if you think like Islam ain't got nothing to do with KKK, the whole religion got to do with that. That's why you have, what is Armageddon in Islam? It's right on the tip of my tongue. I forgot the word they have for like Armageddon in Islam. But Islam believe that all Christians gonna be wiped off the face of the earth. Meaning Christians gotta either transcend to Islam. If I'm lying and you a Muslim, tell me that's a lie. Cause y'all be commenting on my posts like y'all retarded. All Muslims ain't like that. Why are y'all lying? In Islam, a Christian is a abomination. Why y'all walking around here pretending? That shit irked me. Like, stand on your shit. You get it? I'm like that. If you a Muslim, you a Muslim. Cool. You gotta be cordial, you gotta be cordial. But why y'all lying now? That part. And if you a Christian, man, they gonna mop the floor with you niggas in the day in the time to come. That's Armageddon. Y'all got y'all tribulation time where y'all believe y'all gonna be getting killed because of Jesus. Or because of the name of Jesus and y'all worshiping it. And that's what it's talking about. When Muslims start blowing it, they already do blow y'all shit up. But you get my point? It's crazy because I'm talking about something that already happened. Meaning it's already happening already. Muslims attacking Christians. That part. I know you don't think Christians is running up in Brooklyn behind Jews decking them. I know you don't think them young black boys is and Arab boys, because you know the blacks and the Arabs hang together in the corner store. The Arabs own it and they young kids working it. And the black kids and them hang together, they buddies. Now in Brooklyn, when they decking Jews in the back of the head, what you think they is? Because they ain't Christians. That part. If you a Muslim, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying this to start a war. I'm saying to stop it. Because y'all pawns out here. But y'all know in y'all belief system, Christians gotta convert or get wiped out. What is that name of that? He said Malik al-Maut. He named the name of the angel of death. I said Judgment Day. Armageddon. Whatever word you like better. Christians have their word for it. It's like the Great Tribulation. Muslims have their word. The Far North, they call it Ragnarok. All cultures got a prophecy, I guess you could say. All cultures having a religion have a prophecy in their religion where there's going to be some great holy war. And you get my point? Man going to wipe each other out in this holy war. Because they all got different religions. They only got two religions, but they all fall on either side. You got many aspects of Christianity. Baptist, this, that, Catholic, so on and so forth. You got many different aspects of Islam. From the NOI to the third world country. Muslim on the side of the tree in the forest. Like that. Y'all all different aspects of just two religions. The lamb versus the bulls, like I said. Christians worship lambs and Islam is bull worship. That's why y'all have the crescent moon and the stars. That's bull horns. All you got to do is put a bull under it and you'll grasp. This is why they say, why did the cow jump over the moon? Y'all want to know why? I ain't telling y'all because I don't like y'all attitude. Did y'all get back? Before I don't tell y'all, let me make sure. Yeah, only one of you guys gave back. Thank you to who did. But that's not enough. This is top level scholarship. Scholarship you wouldn't know no other way. Meaning wasn't nobody else gonna ever explain to y'all like, hey, you know the KKK and Muslims look exactly the same? No, nobody was gonna do that. You would have never heard this before. And so y'all all being manipulated for a great holy war that's to come. where Muslims kill off all the Christians. Of course, Christians going to defend themselves, so that's what make a thing a war. And maybe I got it reversed. Maybe Christians going and maybe Christians going to wipe out Muslims. I don't want to make Muslims, because Muslims is, you can say in perspective, they be oppressed. There was a time in America, maybe like 50, 60 years ago, a Muslim couldn't feel comfortable saying he was a Muslim. In 1940s and 50s, that wasn't, this is a Christian state. What are you talking about? Meaning America's a Christian state. In God we trust, big baby. What do you mean you are a Muslim? So you get my point? It's kind of an oppressed, it's kind of oppressed thing. Meaning the terrorist acts come from the oppression. But Islam was created by a terrorist group called the KKK. Of course, they ain't have that name in their time. Just like the Knights Templars' name ain't the KKK, but they the KKK. They used to ride around on a horseback with the face coverings, wreaking havoc on whoever they chose. That wasn't them. And so, peace and wisdom, sweet pea. I don't know what that means. He said that's why Jews eat lamb. Champ, can you please stop speaking like you're retarded? I don't do all of that dumb stuff here. Be clear. Meaning truth have to do with clarity, not speaking in stupid tongues that only you know what you're saying. I'm not saying you the only one that know what you're saying. But we speak English. You too. Write whatever you wrote in English. That's the name of the great battle in Islam end times. Champ, you like slow. A lot of y'all reach to be smarter than is necessary. It's a one-word thing, one-word name. What are you talking about? Does anybody know the name of the holy war in Islam? This nigga wrote a whole sentence. Nothing you wrote have anything to do with what I asked. Don't take offense. Just kind of aggravated me with that shit. It's called the, let me see if I have it written somewhere. Damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't got it written over here. In any event, y'all should know what I'm talking. How do y'all have religions and don't even know no aspect of it? That right there blows me. Meaning I know some of y'all Muslims in here, Christians too. How y'all don't know nothing? I should be able to pull, like, you get my point? Y'all completely dumb the fuck out in life. What's going on with y'all? Some of y'all. He said I Googled it. What the fuck are you Googling, blood? Google name of the holy war in Islam. Teaching y'all is like the most aggravating fucking thing, my nigga. My channel is for people that already know their shit. Once you know your shit, now I can clear everything up in your brain where you grasp it accurately. Y'all don't know nothing. Y'all Muslims and Christians and don't even know nothing in regards to the religion. But be bickering around like y'all real loyal worshippers. Nothing I hate more than a fake ass, anything concerning wisdom and faith. This shit is disturbing. Now, what is it called? Anyway, in Islam, you have that end of the world holy. Thank you, Jupiter. Let's be acting like y'all slow up this motherfucker. The jihad. God damn, is this shit special ed? Don't take offense, don't get scared, none of that. Just feel me. Like, what the fuck? Are y'all high? I smoke a little bud, but are y'all brains fried? Cause if so, give it a rest, man. Wisdom, the mind being clear, these things should come first. Then, you get it? You polluting it to the point where the brain don't even work. You see Jupiter, a channel member. He probably Googled the answer too, but do you see my point? Sweet Pea he ain't a channel member. He can't even get the right answer when he Googled it. He said, I'm not a Muslim, I wouldn't know. You Googled it. My channel member Jupiter, more than likely he did the same thing you did. But somehow, I'm just saying that so you could see, mine's is a little more sharp than y'all that ain't. Any of my channel members, I put money on them, they will dust any of y'all teachers off in wisdom. Y'all be acting like when y'all following people, everybody is a reflection of who they follow. Meaning y'all represent whatever y'all be following. I hope minds that, follow me know that too. Make sure you as sharp as I am. Like I said, I put money on most of mines. Y'all dumb down. I said, there's a terrorist group with that. Peace and wisdom, my God. May not. I ain't with y'all. Anyway, the jihad. This is like the great holy war that Muslims believe is gonna come. And this correlate with y'all times of tribulation if you're a Christian. So the two times go together. Meaning they're gonna be killing y'all. And so back to the point, topic of the video. After the times of Muhammad, of course, Muhammad got killed by a Jew lady. If you think, like, I don't know how much more references y'all need. Muhammad was warring with the Jewish or Christians of the time, warring to push them out of Medina and Mecca in the areas he was in. And that's what those wars was about. You also had the guy, Abraha, like Abraham. Look it up. Abraha. Abraha. This is the dude that tried to knock down the Kaaba. They was getting it in back in the day, blood. The Jews and the Muslims, Muhammad is a Muslim. The Jews and the Muslims back in the day, they was getting it in. Dude sent elephants over there to knock over the Kaaba. Abraha. Y'all can Google that if y'all want. Just so you could see for yourself if you think you some deep scholar. I know stuff you ain't even know nothing about. That part. You know Abraha? No, you don't. You know Abraham from the Bible, but that's not an actual history book. It's just a spin-off history. Kind of like Paid in Full. They don't use the accurate names, but a spin-off the name. So the Bible is a true story, but to keep the descendants safe, you get it? Y'all forget whatever the Bible talking about, the descendants of those people still be. And they would rule the world right now. In that, they'd be dead. So they gonna use Israelite instead of Israeli. Y'all know what Israelis are now. People from Israel. It ain't y'all. So do you get it? But the word Israelite, it make y'all dumb somehow. So y'all say, no, Israelites is black people. They ain't Israelis. Even though, you get my point? It's clear cut. They're Israelis. I mean, when you read the Bible, they're speaking about those people over in Israel. Or your Middle Eastern people. What we would call Israelis over in the western side. If you were a black person, you ain't had nothing to do with this nonsense. You was living in whatever forest you was, one with nature still, living in peace. Ain't no colonizers come bother you with this nonsense yet. You get my point? So you don't have to pull for nothing and be like, no, we Israelites. We need a nationality so bad we'll take anyone. Give us one of the old ones that don't even exist. pulling for nationalities in places that don't even be no more. Any nationality that's sold, black people say they it. That nigga's a Moor, that's a moron. If you a Moor, I'm not insulting y'all. When I say a moron, y'all just ignorant. A moron's a thing besides an insult. You get my point? Not a good thing. Not a good thing, but it is something if you're dealing with, Europe back in those times. A moron is something. I don't feel like going to that. I already have a video breaking that down. Y'all act like y'all don't want to accept truth, so I'm not going to go into all of that. But a moron is a moron. This is a lesser thing, of course. But y'all always pull for lesser things, so you don't have to wonder, like, it ain't a lesser thing. Nigga, you a lesser right now. You less than me. If you were more, you less than me. If you a Christian, you less than me. So I don't want to hear none of y'all be like, I ain't in the lesser thing. Nigga, you even less than me, and I ain't even got no status. I ain't a part of that. Like, status is above me or below me. I'm one person. Y'all is less than I am. The whole goddamn group scared of me. So you can't think you were part of the power. Get real. And I ain't saying it to antagonize y'all. Y'all made it clear y'all scared of me. I'm sure everybody know that. And so I'm just making a point. I don't gotta get tough, Nah, niggas is over here drunk and they get fired up. Now we ain't scared of silence. Blood, y'all. Come on now. Give me a hug. Let's just hug it out. I don't want to argue with you, man. You already showed me you scared. I already loosened up my boots. Pull my tongues down a little bit. You know how you rock the Timbs. You'll pull the tongues down a little bit. Get them a little loose, because that's how you rock them. You can't wear them tight. Unless you about to, get a little busy and whatnot. And so if you were more a Nation of Islam person, whatever y'all are, I view y'all as my people. Y'all just lost. So I don't want y'all to feel like I wouldn't be wasting my time telling y'all these things. You feel me? I wouldn't threaten to put my hands on y'all if I didn't care. You feel me? I love y'all. That's why I'll beat y'all up, my nigga. If anybody want to get beat up, let me know. That's what I practice for, like, because it's a lot of y'all. So I say, damn, it's more than me. I got to make sure my shit tight. I make sure I can aim and all that real good just in case they lose their perspective. Fucking 60. Fucking 60% of the Moors up. All the Moors in life, 60% of them. Look. And the same with every other group, Muslims, Christians, whoever. Rape ninja shit. I'm a ghost. But I'm just joking. And I'm not joking, but you get it. Overall, I view y'all as just my lost brothers and sisters, fools. And I know y'all all aware of the same thing. Say, man, Solace, he like our big brother, my nigga. He get on our last fucking nerves. He always got something to say. I know. Somebody got to keep you on the straight and narrow, child. You feel me? Ever since our parents left. Start speaking to the race like we. Ever since our parents left, y'all have been acting a damn fool. Y'all got all these daddies. That's religion y'all fell into. Y'all got all these daddies and mamas. How we brothers and sisters and we all got different fathers and mothers. I'm speaking nationalities. Nigga said he African. This other black said they Hebrews. These other blacks said they Moors. And these other blacks said they the Nation of Islam. That ain't even a nationality of people. They wouldn't care. Do y'all get my point? If you black, like, I'm confused. How they all get different daddies? Now, of course, we don't all have different daddies. We all the same. Y'all gotta stop thinking like Haitians and other black nations of people are the same as y'all. Because they don't. They not the same. Culture-wise, mind-wise. I know Haitians. I've grown up with them. I view them as family. Meaning I knock on their door right now, they gonna feed me. But I ain't confused. A Haitian's household is not like no other black person I ever been to. If you black and you know a Haitian, once you go to their house, then you clear. Like, hold on, this shit seem more like a Dominican's house or some kind of immigrant. But this, it become clear to you a Haitian person ain't an African American. When you go to their house, you be like, why you got loafers? Black people don't wear loafers, meaning the men. It's rare you will see a black man with the top of his feet showing. When you're dealing with black races of people or nations of people, they love to show their feet. Except the African American race, they don't play that. They like soldiers. They don't wear sandals. They don't like their feet showing. Tell me when I'm lying. I'm gonna say it again. Black men, the African American ones, we don't play that footsie shit where you got your toes all out, twirling them around. Now, if you ever seen an African, they don't mind having their feet all out. The men be twirling their feet all around, picking in their toes. That's normal. You look at a Haitian, they don't mind having their feet out. Same with Jamaicans. And this is how you could tell the difference between a black person and another nation of black people. That's a different nation though. Maybe they're Haitian or Jamaican. Get it? But I got to start learning the difference. I'm saying that because everybody seemed to be brainwashed under their own different kind of bump. Everybody brainwashing being an oppression to the next groups. You get it? Meaning y'all all fall into things that kind of knock down other things. In that, you can't even trust your own. A Hebrew Israelite and a Pan-African can't technically trust each other because they got different brains, different ideals. In that's what I mean. Y'all fall into so much different things. You can't necessarily view you as, you get it? You are one, but y'all brains belong to different colonizing parties in whatever time they colonized your people. In that, you get my point? Y'all all got different colonizers' perspectives, but these don't add no true glory to y'all. And so, the KKK go back to antiquity, like I said, and they started Islam. This is why the KKK used to burn crosses. Why you think they burn crosses? I know some of y'all say, no, they Christians. Then why was they burning crosses? Why was they burning down black people churches? Again, they was burning down churches. White people was in them too. They called them nigger lovers. I'm giving you all them references so you could see the KKK in their early beginnings here, they was Islam. In any other place you could think of, they was Islam first till they encouraged the natives of the place to be that for them. So in perspective, remember when I gave y'all that video explaining how the Nation of Islam didn't start with Elijah Muhammad, but instead it started with that white widow? What is his name? I forgot. The video's still up though, like that. The NOY didn't start with a black person or the Prophet Elijah Muhammad. It started with some white dude who disappeared out of nowhere. Just Google what person started the NOI, and his name should come up. His name is Wallace D. Fard. There you go, Wallace D. Fard, like I said. White dude. Or he could be an Arab. Who knows? He ain't black. And so it's like I said, man, Islam's always started by the KKK. That's why all Islamic fashions got that aspect of like terrorism in it. Even the NOI. Not all the NOI members are terrorists, but do you get my point? It's the same with the KKK. Not all the members of the KKK groups are the terrorist ones, but they are part still. Some of y'all Muslims, you say, man, all Muslims ain't like that. You can't bunch us all into the group. Yes, I can, because y'all are all a part of the same group. You can't be like picking what you want out of it. It can't be a group of 10 people and then you be like, man, it's only 4 of us that's bad. You can't label us all as bad. Why? Y'all all under the same group. Good is good. It's like truth and lie. Truth don't even have a piece of lie in it. Once it have a piece of lie in it, it ain't the truth no more. And that's where lie began. Meaning lie is just truth and made up shit mixed together. It's the same with that other thing. Good and bad. You can't say I'm a part of a good and just religion, even though some of the people are bad in it. Huh? That's what bad is. It's the same like lie. When it's all mixed and scrambled up and confusing, when you talking about, well, these people the good ones and that whole shit ain't. That's what you call evilness. You can sugarcoat it all you want. No, I'm a part of the good part of Muslims or Islam. Ain't no good part of no religion. Christians was, like I said, the Knights Templar. KKK is Islam. I don't want to hold you. And so, if you're a Muslim, if you're a black person and you're a Muslim, you're a fool. I'm going to just let you know that off rip. You a fool. You need to really open your eyes. If you're like an Arabic person or something, like I said, I just explained to y'all how y'all got y'all religion. It come from the KKK of y'all time. You got the KKK of all time, like I said. The Knights Templar, they the KKK of the 12th century. Go back to ancient Egypt, Pharaoh and his little army, and some of them was the KKK of that time, and they was assaulting the Hebrews for no reason. The KKK go back to the beginnings. You don't have to question that. You gonna always know them. They gonna have that Muslim look, you know, the niqab and the hijab look, the head and face covering, whether you want to call it a sheet or whatever. They're gonna always have that look, and they're gonna always be on horseback of some sort. They're gonna be wreaking havoc on people for no goddamn reason, or what we would call no reason. And their reason is gonna be a religious thing, meaning the KKK believe like they're the pure race and everybody else is just filthy demons that need to be off the face of the earth. Lex Vortex, who is that? Wouldn't matter. But salam shalom. Now, if you telling me for a reason, let me know. I don't even know who that is, but let me know the point of your comment if it got something to do with me. Now, the KKK started Islam. Like I said, if you black, you definitely shouldn't be a part of no religion. But you ain't no dumber than a Christian to me. Like, I don't want you to feel like if you were a Muslim, you ain't dumber than, a Christian. I said, I just thought you were friends. Why would you think I'm friends with whoever you talking about? Some of y'all strange. Just thought I was friends with Lex Vortex. I don't even know who that is. I'll be having me as knowing niggas I wouldn't. Let me help some of y'all out. I went viral on Facebook in 2016. And these environments, when you go viral, all the goofy ass niggas that's already struggling to get on, and they attach theyself to whoever's viral. This is where like Alicia and you get it? All these niggas y'all be following. I know Alicia in jail now, but you get it? Y'all got me as like y'all, like fans of these people and knowing them. I didn't know them. I didn't know Sonetta, Alicia, Young Pharaoh, none of these people. They know me. Y'all take that as ego. Think back to 2015-16 when I first came. Alicia was sleeping on the floor in Atlanta eating peanuts. He was a bum. There's a video of him and Young Pharaoh on Sonetta TV. They are bummy. They've been on YouTube and Facebook trying to get on. Tell me when I'm lying. I hit the scene in 2016. Somehow these niggas just start flourishing. And y'all play like y'all stupid. Like y'all don't know how that happened. You come to my channel borrowing knowledge, topics, things like that, and then y'all act stupid on it. It's only so long that they can, pretend. So all the people y'all like to act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about, they all finished. Eligio in jail, back to laying on the floor, etc., etc. Eligio being somebody that got wisdom directly from me. So I ain't got no remorse for him. And if you a follower of his, you know what I'm talking about. He used to get private lessons. He annoying, but you get it? This is why if you were early Alicio follower like 2015, late 2015, like December, early 2016, see, this is true. Y'all know I ain't lying. He told all his followers, make sure y'all give back the wise solace. Why you think he said that? Y'all got me as the nigga coming on the scene trying to get on. I've been who I am. I've been the wisest. The niggas y'all follow, they my little... Check these niggas' age and check these niggas' temperature and go back to my beginnings. There's a video of me standing in front of Young Pharaoh. I'm fly, I got the level on with the stars on the back. He dusty. Y'all really trying to play me like these people y'all be talking about somebody. They not nobody to me, and that ain't ego. Y'all poop putts and y'all borrowers, nigga. The swag been here. Why you think whether y'all support me or not, I'm me? Ain't nothing you can do. I've been me before a YouTuber, anything y'all could think of. I've been wise, then how'd I pop on the scene? Why I wasn't recording myself on Sonetta TV and then put it on my channel and say featuring Sonetta to get views? That part, stop trying to play me like I'm the nigga with the ego that came on the scene. Y'all the desperate niggas sucking my dick. He recorded me, I didn't even record these niggas. That's nothing to me. When I sat down with Jabari, do you see my camera up anywhere? Do you see my shot of the debate anywhere? You know why? The same way if you was talking to somebody that meant absolutely nothing to you, you wouldn't even waste your time. That part. And so please don't come here bringing up these weird niggas I don't know. And whoever, fall into the bunch, I wouldn't care. Y'all all the same, like, y'all be all tied together, dick sucking and shit like that. And so, if you ain't see none of these niggas give me no salute or shout out, they get no respect here. And they got nothing to do with ego. These niggas been borrowing since I came. Some of y'all is fake teachers that ain't even a teacher of them times. And you be borrowing too. So nobody need to act like, oh, he bugging, he got ego. Anybody I accused of borrowing, I'm 1,000,000% sure they came here borrowing. I don't explain shit that y'all just know that's common. This been happening since I came. The thing is, they was here first. They're learning directly from me bringing this shit back to y'all. And I don't know who I am. You get my point? That's how that happened. If you say, damn, how Alicio got off the floor so fast? He already got all the followers. I'm not on YouTube or nowhere. That part. And that, they giving y'all my wisdom. Y'all like, damn, these niggas is getting deep. No, the fuck they ain't. That part. Once they get too lost in their ego, then they don't tap in no more. Then you get my point? Then let the reality show start. Tell me where I'm lying. Once they stray away from here, then y'all be watching a reality show. When my show turned into a reality show? That part, never. I just come on here and do what I do, nigga. My shit the sharpest and that's that. You come here, you give back. This ain't the poverty charity channel. You come on this bitch like a bum, like the niggas y'all be following, like the users and scammers y'all be following, then y'all bring that etiquette back here, like I'm a part of these niggas. Y'all be holding me to things that niggas did to y'all that I ain't got nothing to do with. And I try to put y'all up on game so y'all don't get scammed. I get blackballed, channel flagged, all that. When Polite was selling y'all status corrections, I said something back then. My whole Facebook channel got taken down. That's the one that was under Johnny the Billy Pump. The whole channel got taken down. That part. Y'all had a problem with it. He don't know what he talking about. Then y'all all paid this nigga, even young Pharaoh. Y'all bought status corrections from him. Then 2 months later, y'all crying he scammed y'all. But I already told y'all. And I got my shit taken down for it. You get it? Nigga put his neck on the line for y'all. Y'all act like y'all stupid after. Y'all do that shit with Malcolm, Martin, and anybody else that ever came forth and put y'all up on anything. Y'all act like y'all stupid and just leave niggas hanging. Like it's okay. And so, get y'all brain together, please. Said Lex is a very angry man. I just watched him for laughs. He hates. Like I said, I don't know who you're talking about, but I don't got nothing to do with none of these people, so y'all could disassociate it. And that ain't no insult to them. Like, what y'all call wisdom, I don't. Whoever y'all look up to as wise, I didn't even never know they existed. And I know them through being a fan of me. I don't know them like how y'all know them. This is why I don't have that respect y'all do. So, just kind of get your thing together. Now, Meat Lone said, what should I do if my baby mother don't want our child? She looked like James Brown and I look like Booker T. She say she don't. That's horrible, man. Two ugly people usually make a pretty child, but I can't guarantee that. So, if somebody don't want a child with you, meaning if you a woman, if you a man and a woman tell you, because that's strange. I ain't never heard that. And usually the dude be talking to the chick like, damn, I ain't got enough money. I ain't got enough money right now. Maybe we should, hit the clinic. It's strange to see a woman telling a man,